A big focus of my skill development hour the next probably couple weeks, because I'm a slow reader, is to finish this book, Selling With: The Art of Selling With Champions to Shape Internal Buying Conversations and Close Enterprise Deals. The reason I'm doing this, guys, is I haven't done a good enough job preparing myself for my next role, which is to become an enterprise account executive at my company. I had a couple interview conversations a few weeks back for a new enterprise account executive role at my company that I did not get an offer for. I thought both conversations went extremely well. I thought I was gonna get an offer. Super excited to move on and up within the company. A couple other people in my division did get offers. I'm super happy for them. They're gonna do an amazing job and kill it, but I haven't been doing a good enough job, like I said, in preparing myself for my next role. So reading books like this, doing things that other people aren't willing to do, like invest in an enterprise account executive sales coach, which is what I'm doing currently, just to get my skills up and prepare myself for these interview conversations. So when an opportunity does pop up, I kill it and get the offer I know I deserve. What do you guys do on a daily basis to prepare for your next role? Let me know in the comment section. To update you guys on my 2024 sales performance, in the first half of the year, I finished at 142% to my quota, which is great. But the biggest reason as to why I finished that high was due to how my revenue was calculated in the first half. My revenue was calculated much differently in the second half, and my second half quota is significantly higher than my first half. When I crunch the numbers, when I look at my pipeline, what I'm forecasting to bring in, when I look at 2022 and 2023 sales performance in the second half of my territory, because I've had the same territory the past 3 years. If you were to ask me today, hey Matt, do you think you're gonna hit your 2024 annual number? The answer is no. And you might be thinking, well, Matt, that's a poor attitude to have. It's July, you have until December 31st to change things. A lot can happen between now and the end of the year. The answer is probably not. Now, the good news, guys, is there's some areas I need to improve upon. I've been lazy, I've been complacent in a couple areas of my job. So what I'm gonna do the next 5 months is focus on those areas of improvement and see if I can close the gap and hit my number. Do I think that will make much of a difference? The answer is probably not. I still think I'm gonna miss, but the only thing I can do right now is put my head down and give myself the best opportunity to hit my number like I did in 2022 and in 2023. If I miss my quota by a couple points, but I put all the work I could into it to hit it, so be it, guys. Everybody on LinkedIn who is a sales influencer, everybody on YouTube, on social media who is a sales influencer like me, says they are a top performer, claims they are a top performer. Well, I'm gonna make a claim right now, guys, that I am not a top performer, because if I was a top performer, I would crush my quota every single quarter. I would crush every cold call, book a meeting on every cold call, run the perfect demo every single time. That's not me, guys. I make mistakes, I have bad quarters, I miss my quota. So if you're looking to follow somebody who is a top performer, who claims they're a top performer, which you cannot verify whatsoever. You cannot verify if I'm good at sales at all, and I'll talk about that in a second. But if you're looking to follow somebody who is gonna crush it every time, then I'm probably not the person to subscribe to. But if you're looking to follow somebody who is just like you, who is trying to figure these things out, who 50% of the time in their head, they're like, what am I actually doing? I'm like spinning my wheels, I have no idea what I'm actually doing, but who's confident with all the work I put into becoming a professional salesperson in due time, I can say that I am a top performer in terms of skill set and talent, not in terms of performance, because performance a lot of times it comes down to luck. And I've talked about that numerous times on this YouTube channel. Then I might be somebody you want to subscribe to. It's so easy to post content talking about what to do, talking about how to make the perfect cold call, how to run the perfect sales demo. It's hard to actually do it. It's easier to teach than it is to do. So when you read these posts from these 25-year-olds on LinkedIn talking about how great they are, how they're a top performer in sales, number one, you can't verify if that's true. Number two, it's much easier to make a LinkedIn post that gets a ton of engagement from salespeople than it is to actually execute what is in that post. So all I'm gonna do the rest of the year, guys, is put my head down and do my best. If I hit, great. If not, I think the sun's gonna pop up the next day and I'll be moving on. But let's see what I could do. Let's see what I could pull out of a hat. Let's get after it. All right, I'm in a phone booth because I have a discovery call coming up here in 30 minutes. Need to prepare for the discovery call. Typically, I prepare, guys, on Sundays for all my discovery calls, but this call popped up on my schedule an hour ago. So I gotta prepare quickly for the call. Before I walk through kind of my checklist in terms of what I need to know prior to going into that call to make sure it's a productive conversation, this message from John Burroughs, alarming.
All right, rant time right now. I've been running an experiment for the past 3 months on sales calls and how good or bad they are. And I'm the client, I'm the prospect, right? So I have sales reps. I'm looking at all technologies all the time. I always want to know what's out there, and I'm always looking for stuff to invest in from a business standpoint. So I take a lot of sales calls, right, for a lot of different reasons. 20 sales calls, right? I was waiting for that 20 mark right here to be able to do this rant because I was hoping I was wrong, but I'm not. 14 of them. I start every single one of them with, hey, before we get going here, could you just tell me what you know about me so far? Tell me what you know about me. Tell me what you know about the business, right? So we can kind of skip some of those steps. 14 out of 20 didn't have an answer for me. Or if they did, it was something to the effect of, I mean, I know it's on your website, but I'd really like to learn directly from you, which is the telltale sign that you did not prepare for this meeting. So if you're going to ask for my most valuable asset, which is time, and you're not even going to show the common courtesy to prepare by going on my website for literally 5 minutes to prep for this meeting, you do not deserve the rest of my time. So after they go, and don't have an answer, I literally hang up the phone or kill the Zoom call with them. And by the way, I'm encouraging all buyers to do the exact same thing right now. Look, as sales reps, we don't have the option to be average anymore. AI is real. If you don't believe me, literally use Perplexity or ChatGPT and go into it and act as a potential customer for your solution. So for me, I'd be like, hey, I'm a VP of sales at a SaaS company with 20 SDRs and 30 AEs. Our ACV is this, our sales cycle looks like this. I have some issues with top of funnel stuff. I'm looking at the JV sales training and I was wondering, what do I need to know about that? Tell me a little bit more. And how does it compare against the top 3 competitors? What are the pros and cons? And when you realize in a 5-minute conversation with something like ChatGPT or Perplexity that you'll get more value out of some dipshit sales rep who's not going to come prepared, ask dumbass band questions and then drone through a demo that isn't relevant, you realize how in trouble we are as a sales profession. Look, marketing is getting closer and closer and closer to us because of the AI and the personalization and all that stuff. And clients are getting less and less tolerant of the lack of value we bring to the table. The stats are all over the place, right? I think it's like 80% of buyers at this point don't want a sales rep involved. They'd rather talk to customer success and engineers. So there isn't an option to be averaging. You gotta level up right now. And sales reps, I am begging you to level up. It's not that hard anymore. You can actually use the tools like ChatGPT to prep and get insights and have thoughtful questions. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have 30-year sales experience. You got a tool right next to you that you can say, hey, I'm having a meeting with John. Tell me what I need to know about him, his business, that type of thing. What are some really interesting questions I could ask him to get to the impact of the problem that he's trying to address, whatever it is. And then, by the way, could you summarize this all in a 1-page document so that I could prepare for the meeting and have something I can use to take notes? Literally, you can do that in 10 minutes versus what it used to take 2 hours to do. So like I said, buyers, sellers, look, I love sales. Everything about sales. I think sales is the greatest profession in the world when done right. I think it's the worst when done wrong. And we continue to do it wrong. Buyers, please, the next time a sales rep comes on to pitch you something, do what I did. Ask them or say, hey, before we get started here, tell me what you know about us. And if they don't have a good answer for you, or if it's obvious they didn't do their research, literally hang up the phone on them. I want you to do it because every once in a while, we need to get punched right in the mouth to realize that and feel that embarrassment to wake up a little bit. Like I said, we don't have an option anymore. Level up.
Fail to prepare to fail. One of my history teachers, Mr. Mayer, used to say that before every single test, and it holds true in the sales world as well. Before I hop on a discovery call, I'll prepare for 30 to 45 minutes. I want to know information both about the company and the prospect. Starting with the prospect, I want to know their title, how long they've been at the company, and anything on their LinkedIn that gives me some information in terms of what they might care about that's pertinent to the product that I sell, that I could find on their LinkedIn. For the company, I want to know what they do in language a 5th grader could understand. If they have any growth, any job openings, I'll go on their website and run through the entire website to see if there's any telltale signs of a problem they might have that my product can solve. Maybe they have a couple press releases that might be pertinent to my product and cybersecurity. That way I'm going into these conversations with a point of view. What you're looking at on the screen right now is the document I bring to my discovery calls. Now, at this point, guys, I pretty much never look down at this document, but the top half of the document, that white space, that's where I will put all the research I've done on, again, the company and the prospect. Are you bringing something like this to your discovery calls? I don't care if you've been in sales for 5, 10 years. I've been in sales a while, been selling this product a while. For 3 years, I've done, close to 500 of these discovery call and demos. However, I bring one of those to every call. Fail to prepare. Say it with me. Prepare to fail. Big focus of today is prospecting because my pipeline, guys, is looking really, really weak. Now, I'm in a fortunate situation that in my sales role, I head up the entire state of California. So any prospects in the state of California that want to have a conversation with my company, I handle all of those. And any current customers of my product in the state of California, I have the opportunity to upsell those folks. I have thousands of current customers of my product in my territory, which is beautiful because it's much easier for me to prospect and drum up business from those folks than it is going cold, white space, cold calling, and cold emailing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm calling business partners to drum up business. That's a big way I get business. And then number two, I'm blasting out emails. And how I'm doing this is, and you guys probably do this too, you tier out your accounts. I'll have my A accounts, my B accounts, and my C accounts. Because I have thousands of customers, I have thousands and thousands of contacts. I probably have, north of 10,000 contacts that I can send emails to. So the A accounts, obviously, they're gonna get personalized, relevant emails, and I tier these based on spend. How much are they spending on my product? The B's and the C's, I can't send a personalized, relevant email to all the B's and the C's. That would just take months, if not a year, to do. So I'll send out an email like this one that you're seeing on the screen right here, and I'll mass blast that out to try to drum up again some conversations, to do account reviews, to see how are they using the tool, what don't they have feature-wise that I could sell them, and see if any POCs, proof of concepts, make sense for those features. Again, drum up some business. Now for my A accounts, I'll send an email like this. Obviously this email is personalized, it's relevant based on conversations I had with this person in the past, and that's why it's so important, guys, to keep detailed notes in ISC of all previous conversations with your accounts. And if you noticed, both emails, super short. This is just my style, guys. I'm not sure what your style is, but I don't send long emails, and the emails I send are, non-professional. Like, I don't use any industry buzzwords or big words or fancy words. I just keep it simple in language I would use if I'm texting my dad, my brother, or one of my buddies. Hopefully that helps. Emergency meeting. I just ran the worst sales call, discovery demo call of my entire career in my current role, and I've been here 3 years and I've done 500 of these. It was absolutely pathetic. I was asking dumb questions. I was stumbling over my words. I was losing my train of thought. I don't know what. I was demoing features that weren't even relevant to the use case, to a problem the prospect was looking to solve. It was horrible. Yeah, it was not good at all, and it was funny when we hopped off the call, my sales engineer said, "What happened to you, man?" Because I'm usually pretty sharp on the calls, and I do well on them, and he's like, "Matt, that was probably the worst call I've ever seen you do in 3 years of working together." And luckily, it didn't matter. The customer's moving forward into a next step, so we got that book. But my God, guys, it was horrible. So you best believe tomorrow, during my skill development hour, it's going to be focused on my discovery process because it was pathetic. We're now grilling. Amanda, if it's probably optimistic, when I miss my quota this year, will you break up with me because I'm a loser?
Never.
So you will not break up with me?
No.
Thank God. Oh, one more thing, guys. I talked about, or I shared the emails I was sending to get some expansion conversations set up for some current customers. Here's a couple responses that I got throughout the day. So we are building some pipeline, which is good. And one more question I have for Amanda. On our first date, what was the one sales tactic I used on our date?
You asked to set up another date before we left.
And I made sure it was confirmed on the schedule.
Yep.
That's how it's done. So if an opportunity is still, it's not closed won, it's not closed lost, it is open in your pipeline, every meeting needs to end the same way, by booking the next meeting. So I might not be a sales guru like all these other people out there that I've talked about throughout this video, but I might be a dating guru. What do you think? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the first person that you seriously dated, so I don't know if you're a dating guru either.
Sorry guys, totally forgot to close the video out. It is the next day. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for my train to pick me up to head into Center City, Philadelphia for work. How I want to close this video out. 99% of the stuff that I shared on this channel, I learned from somebody else. I learned from a sales coach I work with. I learned from a sales rep who posted on LinkedIn. I learned from a sales community I'm involved in. I did not come up with any of this on my own. I'm not a sales guru like I said earlier in the video. I learned something, I tried it at work. If it works, I share it with you guys. So how I want you to view me in this channel is Matt is super passionate about sales. He's trying to get really, really good at sales. He's not there today, but he will be. And he's going out and he's sourcing all the new tips, tactics, strategies from top salespeople, and he's tried them out, and if they work, he is sharing them with this channel. If they don't work and he makes mistakes, he's sharing them with the channel. That's how I want you to view me and this channel. Hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for watching. Would you be opposed to subscribing? No oriented question. You use those no oriented questions when you're trying to close your sales. We're trying to close out a cold call to book a meeting. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great day.